What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Just want to take a minute to review the markets and kind of what went on today. So, if we're taking a look at the charts here, we can go to SPY. Let's go to the daily time frame and kind of go over some stuff here. So, daily time frame, bearish engulfing. We've had this nice run up, right? And so, typically what happens is we get that push away from the 21 EMA, and what will happen is when we get a close below the high of the or the low of the high bar, which we may get tomorrow. We had a bearish engulfing over this. That will typically give us a reversion to the mean. So um, today was a very risk off, hands off day. Not necessarily trading. Um, I didn't trade any individual tickers. I went into today cash. And so now what are we looking for? There was a day trade that I took, which I can show you guys real quick on oil. So the equity market was not looking that great, so I decided I did not want to trade it. And so instead, I decided to trade oil. And because there was a setup there. So one of the people in my chat had posted that um, oil was looking pretty good. And so I went and checked out the chart and I saw that we had 15-minute and 30-minute buy signals here. So once this candle closed here, I took an entry. Initially, I was looking for a move before the close up into this level here. I can delete that now, but we caught this move from about 82.55, 82.60 to $83. So it was a good gain of about 50 cents or so, 45 cents on the contracts. We actually did push through 83 and got as high as 83.13. So it was about a good 50 to 60 point gain on CL. And this was kind of nice because there wasn't too much going on in the markets. It was a very corrective day, so there wasn't a lot to trade. So nice trade on this. And so now let's go take a look at some other stuff here. So for the S&P, there's nothing now. Does this make me bearish? No. We're in a clean uptrend. You can see relative strength score out of 100. We are 65 out of 100. Short term, 65 out of 100. So right now we are looking pretty strong. So that's this was just a red day in the market, right? We've been volatile in the first place. I mean, these moves, they're pretty crazy. So it's not too much, not too crazy, right? And I think what kind of gave us, we ran out of steam was we had this 2 day or 2 hour squeeze to the upside. That was last week. It gave us this good run. But then what also kept propelling us was this the buy signals on the 30-minute time frame. Okay. So you can see the 30-minute time frame is starting to deteriorate a little bit, and we're starting to kind of move lower. And now we're below that trailing stop. So we're seeing a breakdown in a lot of different things. One thing to note is I'm not necessarily jumping to get bullish or to be bullish again until we can get back above like the 15-minute trailing stop, right? Unless it's a longer term picture view, we get a signal on the longer term charts. But you can see here from this run up that happened last week, you can see we've been trending, 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 holding this trailing stop, and then boom, we broke it. And now that's the first time we've broke it so far. We had buy signals here on the 15, buy signals here, buy signals here, and just kept propelling us on the moves up. And so now we've broke that trailing stop. We dive out to the 30-minute, same thing. It's not looking too hot, right? So we had this great signal yesterday, great push into CPI. CPI comes out as expected. So we priced the move in before it happened. Now we're having this pullback. And now we want to see something like this in order to get back long. I think it looks a little more clear on QQQ. So I throw up the QQQ chart. You can see here, okay, so the trailing stop flipped. We downtrended for a little bit. It was a correction back to the buy zone. If we look back here, just barely to the buy zone, right? And then from there, we flipped and then we're back trending higher, had a little bit of a fake out, flipped back, buy signals, boom, and now we're trending upside. So we go to the hourly, you can see it's a lot more clear, like we broke the trailing stop, got back above it, and now we're trending higher. And then now we broke back below it. Now we got a question, okay, what are we doing here? So like if we zoom out, and take a look at what's going on here, you can see uh, when we break the trailing stop to the downside, we get some pretty active selling. Once we get a break back above, we get some pretty active buying. Then sometimes we chop around and then we make our move. And then we broke back above and we trended for a while, broke below, trended down for a little bit, and broke back above and then trended up again. So now we're seeing this similar thing here, okay? We're rejecting right at that 500. Well, we broke above it yesterday, but we didn't hold. So we've got a 500 key level here to pay attention to going into this week. Now, if we're looking for to go long here in the future, what are we going to be looking for? Okay, well, let's take a look at the scoreboard here. So if I take this over the past 3 months on multiple different time frames, what we're looking at is you can see, first of all, board is pretty clear, pretty dry, right? We've got a 3-day buy signal on AMD. So this is something we could check out to play the upside. I do think we're going to get a continuation back into 200 at some point, as long as the market doesn't completely fail. But then we've also got some weekly squeezes that look really good, like Amazon, like Meta. And I think Meta is at a better entry point as of now. And but we do have earnings coming up at the end of the month. So really this would be something you would have to hold through earnings. And I'm not too excited about doing that. I'd rather trade the shorter term price action. So with AMD, we've got a 3-day. When's that coming up? 7:30. Okay, so they're about the same. So we're going to want to stick to lower time frame trades in this time period, right? But we can see now if we look at, okay, if we're thinking shorter term, these are the longer term stocks that are overall the strongest between 3 months of time to 5 days of time, right? So the past week through the past 3 months, right? Now, okay, what about things that have been moving really nicely in let's say the past month, past uh week, past couple weeks? What are we looking for here? Let's look at the things that have some strength. Okay, so we can order this, same thing here, shorter term strength, right? Um, we can see Apple is at the top of the list. You can see down here, same thing. We've got Apple, AMD, and SPY. Those are kind of our top dogs that we can look at, and also Tesla. Now, Tesla had a pretty nasty day today. So I think that put a pretty big dent into the score, but I think this may be destined for a reversion to the mean. We can zoom out a little bit, see if we've got any key support. Yeah, right around here, it'll probably bounce right around in this area where the buy zone is, because we've got a lot of support here. You can see support, or resistance, support, and it's been an important area in the past, right around that 210 area. So we may look for a bounce around there and then look for the next setup and see if it's going to continue to move to the upside. But we've got earnings coming up, so this could kind of be done until earnings. We'll see. Now, what we're looking at is, though, we've got these top stocks here. So if we're going to look, what I personally like to do is I'm going to short the indexes. And by shorting the indexes, I'm not going to really focus on other stocks. I'll just focus on shorting the indexes. And so what I'll do is I'll look at stocks that I can short, or the indexes, wait for signals to short them back into the 21 EMA. If we can get there right around this area of like 550, I think it's pretty high probability we may go revisit this area. So that's option A. We just wait and short the indexes, may want to go towards QQQ, but it may get to that 21 a little bit quicker. So 485, look for a short down into that area. So that's the first option going into this week and next. The next option is, okay, if we start to pick up, we see some buyers in the market. What are the top stocks we're going to want to look at? Apple is going to be at the top of our list. Apple has had the most strength. It's the strongest stock right now. And we're going to look for if we can find some buy signals on this name and try to trade it to the upside. And then from there, we've got SPY. We can be looking at AMD. It's got that 3-day squeeze, and we can pay attention to that. It's got the strength. Okay, good to go. Those are probably the top ones I'm going to be paying attention to as of right now. This may all change tomorrow. We may get some more strength in NVIDIA. We may get some more strength in something else. But right now, the ones that I want to stay away from are the Amazons of the world, the Meta, the Netflix, in terms of these big names here, right? You can kind of see there's a theme. Um, uh, Communications has kind of moved towards the bottom of the list, being Meta, Netflix, so on and so forth, Google, and the ones that are kind of hanging out at the top are Apple, the one of the biggest stocks there is, right? The hot name, and then there is SPY, the overall market, right? So I'm not going to be wanting to trade Meta and Amazon over SPY if they both have a setup. It's got the strength, right? And then if we go look at, okay, semiconductors are kind of a hot topic here. So you can see AMD's towards the top of the list. And if we want to get a clearer view, let's just take a look real quick and then we'll wrap up this video. But we can take a look at, okay, the shorter term strength that we've had. Let's see if which ones we are looking at. So give it a second to load up. Almost there. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. So in terms of weakness, you can see Bitcoin, ETF, Jets has been showing weakness, right? Okay, so sectors with some strength. Interesting. IYR, we've had some buy signals on this for a few weeks now. Then we got this nice pop. Okay, so the real estate, IWM, and the Dow. Very interesting. So we might be seeing some rotation out of tech. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Let's keep in mind maybe it's time for some rotation into Dow stocks into this week, but still keep an eye on these big boys as they are going to be, the market's not really going to run without them, right? So let's keep an eye on this and see that money is maybe starting to rotate. So let's keep an eye on that. But all right, guys, hope this helps. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys updated on trades I'm doing. And just to let you know, I'm going to be making some updates into the course. If you don't have it already, you can get that. But I'm going to be adding some indicators, adding a couple classes here soon to the course. And once you buy it, you're in it for life, right? So you get to whatever indicators, whatever classes I add to it, you will have it at your disposal. But as I add things, the price will increase, of course, as there's indicators being added. The next one I'm going to be adding to it is this ATR trailing stop. So if you want to have part in that, make sure you join. And I'll be doing a class on it, how I can use it to determine market direction, also determine taking profits, things like that. You can see how important it is. When we topped here in the market, had this downtrend, when we reversed here, when we reversed here, it's a very powerful tool, and that's just on the Dow. I mean, if we take a look at the S&P, very important tool, right? That's a reversal of the correction we had earlier this year, and so on and so forth. So yeah, all right, guys. I'll put the link in the description for the course. Hope this helps. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.